So when I talk about looking at stress as either good or bad, what I'm talking about with you, with your 4-year-old, with your 7-year-old, with the 17-year-old student in your class, is choice. We all have a choice in how we're going to view it. And one of the things I do often as a professor is I reframe for my students. So when I hear the negative talk, the helplessness, is that I will remind them. I teach mostly collaborative nursing at St. Clair, and I taught with Vicki Houston, one of your superintendents in the tech studies program at the Teachers College, is that I'll remind them that they're paying for the pain, and it's called tuition. Think about how many areas of your life that you are choosing. The second that we blame or complain, we give away everything. We give away all of our control, even if it's only 1% of it. So you have a choice. Are you going to step forward into growth or backwards into safety? So as I was mentioning earlier, one of the most important things that we do is a needs assessment and a strength assessment. And I can hear a collective moan of Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Yeah, you haven't been taught it right. So Maslow was one of the first positive psychologists out there. And what happens, all of us climb this mountain of Maslow day in and day out. And day in and day out. And if we're at the bottom, if we think physiological, when I asked you, how was your lunch? Did you sleep well? Physiology often is the reason why our students are stressed. It's not school, that's at esteem, it's physiology. And we could all have a long conversation about cell phones, yourself included. But physiology, if they're overstimulated, if they're poorly fed, if they are going to bed with their phone underneath their pillow, all these things will keep them stuck in deficiency. So the bottom two are, you'll stay there until they're taken care of. Safety, money. So when you get thinking about money, with students at school, if they're feeling bullied, one of the first things I'll ask a student if they're one of my clients is, I need to see your social media account. What's happening online that is leading to feeling unsafe? So my philosophy when I teach and when I do an assessment, or when I work with anybody really, is to get a sense of, are you well fed? I mean, have you slept well the night before? And once those two are taken care of, emotional is when we start to look at relationships. So look yourself on your sheet of paper on the back. You could just put out the pyramid and assess where you are. So in terms of self-esteem, is anything intellectual? So you want to rise up the ranks in the school board? That's under esteem. Self-actualization, your ultimate goal. This is your commitment. And so when you're feeling stressed, is it really that you're just hungry? It sounds so simple, but hangry is a term. How much of your stress is because you're not sleeping well? Take responsibility for your sleep. Take responsibility for your food. Exercise. How much do you need to burn off steam for going through a walk? How many of these things could make all the difference in the world? And then in terms of esteem, I will get referred students that are misbehaving in the classroom, but they haven't been properly fed because what's happening in the home. They're feeling unsafe because they are not connecting with their peers, that their emotional needs aren't being met. So this is just a good way to go in and see how much of your stress your students can be taken care of by looking at this. So we will stay at the bottom in terms of the deficiency needs before we go through the top. So if you look at, I'm just showing you protective again, how important the school is and different protective factors that can make a difference. So what kind of atmosphere do you set up when your students come to see you? What is it like in the school? So for me, in the classroom, when we talk about positive social climate, how students are received. And you think back to when you